Well, I tell you what, there's nothing like the third time. So, of course, this is going to work flawlessly. And I know that because I got a moderator on to make sure I'm not screwing up, right? So, we are going to start up the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Um, and we're going to see if we can get this thing going again. Setting the time again. Ah, gee whiz. It is 10. All right, so we'll go this way. It's 10:07 a.m. on a Saturday, very freaking cold morning. 10 a.m., your favorite time of day. Nope. Really, I don't have sound again through my PlayStation. Huh. Well, shoot, my moderator's not on to tell me. It's accurate, damn it. Asking me these silly questions. I confirm. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be said. Whatever. Quit collecting my data. More sliders. No. Perhaps I invent some sliders to gather new data on you. No. 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 Okay, now what are we doing? We're loading? All right. Beginning of the game. Yes. We're still loading. Never the end is never the end.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Gosh, I'm thinking it's lagging still.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Yeah, I just got a message it's lagging. Well, shoot.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
It's lagging, but not as bad as before. All right, thanks, Gamester.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
It's funny.
He
It says
stepped
that
into the
we're
newly
broadcasting
opened passageway.
perfectly. Well, it says excellent. Touch the button. Click it. There you go. Loading, loading, loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
But I don't want to play. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. Got it. Push the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
No. Oh, there's a... We're walking. There's another button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
No. Hit the button again.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes. Or no. I don't know.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yes, in here. Click, click, click. Off. I won! Did I win? What are we doing?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
I won.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Oh, I can walk now. Okay. It's so pretty.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Really? Really happy? I beat the game. That's all? Got the trophy, beat the game, we're done. Yeah, shit. We're back in our office. I hate Monday's cup. Nice.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-worker.
Nope, they're not around here. What's this cup say? Number 1 dad? Right. Oh. Really? No other doors are open? How about this one? This one? Nothing. Oh, got another cup. Be my Valentine. Oh, that was good for yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, somebody's awfully sloppy. Yeah, we got a who farted cup over there. That's all. That says nice. I want to go in this one. No. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The one on the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire.
Oh, I definitely want to go to the lounge.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Gamester's heading out. All right, have a good one, bud.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That's a left. Huh.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right? That looks like a far drop. We probably should not do that. Oh,
look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
No.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Is it a dog? Uh-oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one
It's
to
like
do
a prison
this.
room.
To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another.
It's annoying. That's the fucking phone. Hello. Hello? Okay.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Oh, shit.
Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven.
It's a girl.
All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Ah!
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
What?
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I want to go this way.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
I don't want to go into scary people.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
With a creepy mannequin. Okay,
Stanley
fine.
is quite a boring fellow.
Yes.
He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there,
Just a
pushing
fucking
buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Yep.
Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
And now we're pressing that way.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Why? Yes, let's watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize
where'd the
about
TV
his
go?
own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I don't have any boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
back into my
paths and
office.
destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
I'm not telling her I love her. Ugh. Hideous.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all
my
he's
desk.
doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Yep, that's my cup right there.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me.
Oh,
He
come on,
won't
hurry
stop.
up.
Here, watch this.
Watch that.
Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Fine. Nope. Push the button to be at work. I'll push X. O. Triangle. This one. Oh. I went down. Yeah. Fine, I'm gonna hit the square.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
No.
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
X.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must.
You must.
Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again.
Are you telling me to
and
die?
Stanley pushed a button. And I
died? So I won? Did I lose? I'm back in my office again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
No. Oh, new content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean?
I don't
new
know.
Content.
Boxes. Why is it loading? Where are you taking me? It's scary up here.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Me too.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Are we doing something here? Am I supposed to do something here?
Is it broken?
I think so.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Should we be moving somewhere? Or... Oh, there we go.
Oh, shit.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Are we doing it? I don't feel like we're doing it.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay, we're gonna walk through the door.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, we're gonna jump. Oh, for fuck's sake. I gotta jump 4 times. Just hit the button. Over and over and over and over. No innuendos there. Oh, I got a trophy. You can't jump trophy. Right, yeah, I can't jump again. Thanks a lot. So that's our new content. It looks like there's a door over here, though. Click, click.
Is that it?
That's it.
Surely that's not all the new content.
Yep.
There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
No.
Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good.
Very
Yes.
good. Yay.
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Like Resident Evil, where they come out. Thank you for enjoying
That's
the...
it?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Twitter?
It's my
Sizzle.
fault, Stanley.
It's not
I
called
built up
Twitter
too
anymore.
much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations.
No.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I see the narrator's creepy. And he just restarted my damn game. Okay. This is not my... Uh-huh. I'll go to this door. Still no. Aha! From upstairs. Ah, that's cool. Alright.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here!
But I want to
In
go up
the
here.
vent! I want to show you something!
But what's up here? Fine. Go in the vent. Creepy narrator, dude. Ah! I just died, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
I
got
do.
me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Oh, it means nothing. $1. Uh-huh. Smile because it happened. Yeah, shit happened. La la la. Back outside.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Did the door open? Yay! The water's gonna make me pee. Can't go that way.
Here's another moving passage,
Oh,
this time from
Jesus.
GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
I heard a door. Oh, it's behind there. Oh.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
Steamboat.com.
Funny?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Just trying to figure out how to get rid of this bot chat. Nobody needs that. Got a forklift.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening.
Right?
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Skip it.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you with just the push of a button... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the
7:06 on the
nature
clock.
of choice in... Well, there, sport. You really did catch
Holy
me
shit.
rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the
don't know
power
where
of
I
the
went
button.
to.
The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
No.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not
And you're still
unendurable
talking?
by any means, but it's, well, there's really really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
It is.
But at any
Yes,
rate,
yes.
I do suggest that we not press the button again.
not
I
the
think
button.
the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it.
Okay.
And
Well, I pushed it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12 hours?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no
Don't
way out of the room.
touch it.
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely
What
gone.
the fuck?
I've looked at it from every angle. I've
jeez.
checked every...
Oh, I touched it again.
Oh, Stanley, you're back.
I am.
You're back.
Yes,
Oh, my
it
goodness.
hurts.
I have someone to
I'm
talk
old.
to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
A week?
Or 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
I've been sitting here all that time.
All the
Just
time.
sitting here. Not a single person.
Oh, I touched it again.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're
is.
here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with,
Oh, shit. Is the narrator dead? He's dead, isn't he? Huh. We're gonna push it again. Well, that's annoying. I don't like that. We'll push it again.
but they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires. Every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being.
I touched it. Now what? Oh, I can push it again. The clock fell off the wall.
The end is never the end, 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 is the end, is never the
And now... Nothing. Okay, the room's falling apart a little bit. It's funny. The narrator must have died from old age. Oh. Yeah. My name is Joe, and I work in a button. Oh, that's Stanley. I'm free. Free, I say. What is going on out here? Well, we might as well go back in and push the button again. It didn't let me push it though. I'm in my office. Yay!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Yes.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No.
Yes,
no.
door 430.
I
5
can't
times.
just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks?
5 clicks.
Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
20 times. 1, 2.
I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
What?
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
How many is that?
No.
No?
I'm still not feeling it.
No.
I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley.
Yes.
I want to see commitment.
Yes.
A willingness to go all the way no matter the
All
cost.
the way.
Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Got it. $20 clicks.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Is that back here? 438. 436. Where the fuck is 437? 420. 420. There's new content. But if I walk through the door, doesn't it shut behind me? Where the fuck is 437? Are they messing with me? Oh, 37.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
It was 415. Where the... That was my office. Yeah, if I go through this door... Oh, 415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Oh, for fuck's sake. $437.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Oh, there's a copy machine right here.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Well, we're getting somewhere, all right.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's deck.
419. Input received.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Well, but 416 isn't there. This should be 416. I'm not walking through that door.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very
We just
exciting
skipped
to
it,
show
you
you.
sons of bitches. Oh, 416.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Oh, for fuck's sake. Is this for the... No. Attention spans the size of... Well, that's not important in this game.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing.
Oh, I got my trophy.
Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Have you? Are you? Alright, new content. Yay. New content. Duck, click, clack. The end is never the end is never the end is never the... Okay. We're going to this way.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
They are?
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Yes,
but of
Jim.
course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Your name.
Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
'Kay.
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, Forget whoever you are and simply become a person named Jim.
I am Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
sorry.
If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise,
Jim.
it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name.
It does.
Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
I am Jim.
Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim,
Jim.
playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim,
I am Jim.
staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now?
I
Get
am.
out of here.
Oh.
I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says. But no.
Jim.
Instead,
Jim.
oh,
Jim.
I can't
Jim.
even think
Jim.
about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No.
Jim.
Hey, no, don't do it. Do it. Don't, you son of a bitch.
Jim.
Ha! Oh. Okay, is it coming back? Wait, it's not coming back. I can't go out the door. Just want to hit the gym button. Well, I guess going back out here.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable too. They would appreciate what I've created here.
They might. What's in here?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Oh. La-di-da-di-da. Free new easy trophy. Get it here. Okay. Free trophy. Pull the lever. Receive your new trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
We will, huh? It's still locked. Well, shoot. So do I just go upstairs then? Yeah, just back up the stairs. There's a lot of free space
What
in
else?
this game.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Ooh, the jump circle again.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Oh.
Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Okay.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
It's up ready. Is that it? What did we do? Okay, I'm lost. I'm getting scared. Oh, there's that. Okay, so when we look at that, we go walk backwards. Maybe. Do we walk towards it? Are we doing it? Oh, we're getting closer. Oh. It's a trophy. Do I get to go back downstairs and get another one again?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Does the lever work? No. Still does not work. Okay. That's disappointing. Well, what, Mr. Narrator, dude? Infinite hole. It won't end. What's in here?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloon. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
The blue one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Really? You're just hurting my feelings. Oh, can I push this button? No. Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
What is up here?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh, I don't know. All right. Before that, I think we're going to take a quick break right here. So stand by. All right, we're back. So, the bucket, huh? Push the button.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
It does.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Well, I don't know about
The
that.
benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. Oh. But now I got a fucking bucket. The reassurance bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I don't know. Okay. You know, we never did go through the endless hole thing. That was the gym. Okay, you heard Jim in the game. Yes, I did. Yeah, we've already been in there. And we got yelled at. And this was the epilogue thing. Yeah, the infinity hole. So, okay, that goes upstairs. Uh-huh. Settings world champion. Well, we're not going in that way. Okay. Da. Well, now we'll come back here.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. So we just fall.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
But
now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Okay, so I should like hit it now?
Now, I don't mean to be a great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
But there's a whole... Ah!
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them.
Hey, wait a minute.
How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know, I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
New mug.
Things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
The mostly infinite hole. So now what? We just walk back upstairs. Okay. So, what are we supposed to do now? We can't go jump in the circle. Yeah. Right. We already tried coming up here and we couldn't get in. Right. Yep, still can't get in. There's the exit. Yeah, the epilogue thing, yeah. Okay, here's the exit. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. Okay, so that's the exit. Okay, go this way. La-da-da. Going back up the stairs.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
I think so.
Ready to move on now?
Yeah.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
Well, there's my
Hold
trophy.
on. Let me do a different arrangement.
2 trophies.
Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Like
Let me see
Ultra
if I can whip
Deluxe
something
edition
up.
like thing.
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
The Stanley Parable 2. Get in this game. Are we doing it? Did we do it?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
All right.
Orders
It's like the same thing. Let's skip that. Okay, so we're walking out.
All of his co-workers were gone,
What could it mean?
Get well someday.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps. There's.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes. I now have the bucket. Oh, see? Now it's 416 again. There's no new content. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
This left? Or this left? Fine.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Room closet.
Oh, Stanley,
The bucket
can you
in
feel
here?
it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
It does.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
No.
Expand on the wide
Take
variety
the
of experiences
fucking
you
bucket.
and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they
Oh,
have
just
changed and
take the
evolved
bucket
over
already.
the years. Let him have it.
Okay. Oh. Yes. Put it right here. Right down there. Right there. Just
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Really? You're not gonna? Oh, it
All
says
right, I've
property
got a
of Stanley.
second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That
It
way, if you're
is.
ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Do I get another sticker? Still can't give it away, huh? If you go right
You know
there.
what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Fine. But I really want to leave it in here. Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Go up the stairs. Executive bathroom. There's a trophy. I've got the feeling. Money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Something that's a lovely purse. Okay. Well, we got a
You found
trophy.
one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You
Yes.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So,
No.
I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Will do. So, now what? What if I don't want to go in the boss's office? I'll go this way. I don't want to go in there. I have to go in there. But he's mean. Alright, fine.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sheer luck.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
It did.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Right. Push the button. Check out the Rocket League level.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
So is the Rocket League level close?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read
escaping!
Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Why? We can't
The
hurt
door
the
behind
bucket.
them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
No. Yep. It's like we just died. I still have my bucket. The bucket is still safe.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Ah! Oh.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Okay. Stanley Parable.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Yes.
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Okay, now what?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
All hail the bucket. Seriously.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Oh, it's such a stupid game. Oh, shit. Oh, the hole again. No?
But there is something we can do.
What can we do?
Something we can do together, you and I,
Yes.
that will right this terrible wrong.
Horrible. Horrible wrong. Hey, hey, hey.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
No,
The
we're not
bucket should
gonna
take his
die.
place
The
as
bucket will
ruler, as
die.
leader, as commander
Rest
of a
in
new
peace,
world,
Stanley.
a new vision for-
Hey. And then he died. Poor Stanley. Poor Bucket.
Already this was uncomfortable.
It was.
And Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Ever. All right. So, we're going to go to the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley
Stanley
knew it
knew it.
perfectly well.
Okay, after
Perhaps he
you
wanted to stop
restart
by
the game,
employee
you're back in
lounge
the
first,
cubicles.
just to admire it.
Stay to the right once you get to the elevator, jump from the elevator to the catwalk.
Wow. Yes, this room.
This room.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, after you restart, once you get to the elevator, jump from the elevator onto the couch. It's got to mean this.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
We're talking about that? Oh, there's a shaft right there. Uh-huh. And then I fall and die, but there's a trophy right there.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley
Mini
figs.
stands.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
I don't like
Another
that.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay. Well, that's not what he's talking about, I'm sure. So let's not die. Horrible death. Oh, I think we're gonna die a horrible death. Oh, no. We got there's the hole right there we can go through. Okay, we'll go through this. Okay.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it...
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
A tape recording.
It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I did, but and now you restarted me. Oh right. Oh, you haven't seen that part yet, huh? Spoiler then, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, did you go through that door on the left then? Is that where the
Stanley
elevator
came
was?
to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Well, it is a very nice lounge.
The lounge was sublime,
It's got
a work
lounging
of art. But
paraphernalia.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's see. This is an elevator. Alright, we will push. Push the...
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Left.
Oh, no.
No.
No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Oh, yeah, you said stay right. Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Dun, 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 dun,
Now,
dun,
let's see.
dun,
We went
dun,
down,
dun,
right,
dun.
left, down, left,
One of us should
right.
know what we're doing here.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Which way?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just
It's all
restart the
different, huh?
game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Right. Hey, there's no balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It meant somebody
Stanley
stole my
decided to
balloons.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
If we go in this door, do we get high? Let me in! Bastard. Alright, so...
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear,
See,
I
now we
definitely
can't go left or
restarted
right.
the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that
did
room with all the
nothing.
monitors?
No.
Did you move the
Nothing.
story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
Yeah.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
What? But... Okay, well, we're going through this... Okay. I feel like I'm making a big circle.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
No.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Well, shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, turned around. Trying not to cough into the microphone. Okay. And now there's
Okay,
no...
yep, it's worse.
It is worse.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sounds like a plan. So we're... Okay. Still no doors. Okay. All the way back.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it come. No, wait. Never mind. Not
No.
the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Okay. It's just not
Now
any
this...
better.
Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work,
Lot of work.
and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel
We're
right
from
about this at all.
42069.
We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting
gotta
weirded
ask
out by
permission
whatever this
for
place
that.
is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just
Cool.
follow the line. How simple is that?
So I can't get lost now. Where are we going?
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we
that it?
implying a journey such
Nope.
that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of
Is this
music
when
to lighten the mood.
James Bond was young. Music.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Oh,
Make sure you study it closely and
Sure.
remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
it's green. Okay. And a fern.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Yeah, there's 420.
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story?
Yes.
Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
What? I'm not
You know
listening
what,
to that.
Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Hey. Is this where the
Now,
hookers and blow
yes,
is?
this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be?
Hookers and
Go
blow.
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yeah. That's why I said.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
You're the one who brought
Just
the
don't
line.
acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Good.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
No.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
'Kay.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
In this door.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Fusion ending.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped?
Oops.
Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
The hell was that?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Penalty for misuse of the cargo lift 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift 5,000. Oh, so if we're
Look,
on
Stanley,
this,
I think perhaps we've got... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley.
I died.
Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay, that was a mistake. Touching the microphone. All right, so we're starting over again. And now what?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Blah, blah, blah.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked... Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
Figlies.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Well, how many Figlies can we have? Okay, there's a blue door and a red door. To contemplate. I'm going to take the blue door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
There's the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Hey, look, there's a
Stanley
red door.
walked through the red... Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
So we just came. So what the hell is this? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. Hey.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. Stanley. Think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God. You lived.
I lived.
You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Fine.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
But now what? Okay, we can't keep doing this. It has to keep going. I'm gonna go kill us again.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
Yeah,
No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to... Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Okay, we're gonna go up the stairs. There's no door here. We'll go through this door.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
And then
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Do I go back to that room again?
Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing?
Step. Oh, it's so pretty in here again.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
Alright, well, there's nothing in here for us. We'll just have to go jump off the edge again. It's moving a lot slower. Come on. Up the stairs. All the way up the stairs. Is this going to be the end? The narrator doesn't even talk anymore. Just me. And
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
yeah,
I'm going back.
yeah.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, wouldn't that be creepy if one
Stanley
actually
came
showed
to a
up?
set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It is incredible.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Well...
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
The red door.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
You do?
Here, let me show you.
I don't know. There's that door. And this door.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
Yeah, it's this
Oh,
again.
it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
While he's feeling happy, I'm gonna leave the room for just a second. Alright, we are back, and we are still looking at the same stuff. Give me just a second, guys. Oh, it went away. Well, shoot. Oh, it's down here again. All right. Well, begin the game again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Simply.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
The one on the left. And then there's the meeting.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Looking behind paint, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Right.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
Can I
So
get
he
the
relaxed
fast one
for a
in
few
there?
moments with some calming New Age music.
Yeah, for fuck's sake.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Yeah, well, it's got...
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one.
We
And
changed
then
it
the
again.
first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Well, shit. Definitely not a speed run this go around.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Yes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself? Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment
Game
we
got
fade
kinda
in
dark, didn't
until
it?
the moment I say, happily ever after.
Yeah, well, we started over. Again.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Don't
I
want
still
the
don't
red
think
door.
we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Well, 1 being what? And 5 being what?
Oh, of course. A 3. Really?
Mhm.
Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion? You know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your
Fine.
surroundings? Does that sound good?
Stroke
Think
his
we can do
ego.
that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I think he'll lose his shit with it too.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing.
Oh, it would?
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
Not at all.
Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Burning babies.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
By all means.
What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Interesting. Of course I'm on the wrong side. I feel like I need a sniper rifle.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh,
What the
goodness, Stanley, what a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Okay.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Just the thing.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Holy
Just
shit,
a nice big
you were
box for
right.
you to run
It's
around in.
it's
There isn't
freaking
any
Rocket League.
possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
Well, I need a car and a soccer ball.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Well, I don't
There are
fucking
lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball.
I
what
think it's
fun.
rocket, you
We shall run the
dumbass.
bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Oh. Fuck yeah. Boom. It's gonna explode like in the real game.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh shit.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I stalled.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Well. I really don't know where we're at now.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
Can we turn on a light or something? Okay, that did nothing. Hey, we're back to my office. Does not look like my office. But I'm in 427. That's my office. What the hell?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Can you? Can you really?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I want to go in there.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but
Every
it didn't make a single difference.
little
Nor did it advance
thing.
the story in any way.
Nope. In fact, whoop, we're gonna begin the game again. And again. And again. See if we can't speedrun this damn thing.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory.
Yeah. Trying to get to the one that's real close. Oh, there's a phone ringing. It's that one. What?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Yeah. Nope.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it.
I know there's a room that you pop in every once in a while. This is not it.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped.
It's
All of
not
his co-workers were
working.
gone. What could it mean?
And sometimes you get a whole bunch of papers all over the damn place. That's always fun, too.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go. All of his co-workers were gone.
Haha.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, he did. Because he's not screwing around, because he's trying to get that other trophy.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
In such a damn hurry.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by blah blah blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
There's a way
Did
to
he have
jump
the
up.
strength to find out?
Or maybe it's this one to jump up.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
There was a spot at one point in the game.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Hurry
What
up!
other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Yes, please. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, shit. They didn't get the trophy. It's probably 2 seconds too long. Ah, for fuck's sake.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Well, shoot. We're gonna go downstairs because I think there might be another figurine down there.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be
there's
fired
not
for
one
that.
down here.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought
He's
to himself,
crazy.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
What?
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Yeah.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
All right, guys. Well, I know this game goes on and on and on, and we're already at the 2.5 hour mark. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. We're gonna do a podcast later on today. Anthony, thank you for telling me about the Rocket League portion. I know we had kind of discussed it a little bit earlier, and I had never found it, so it was awesome to find that. And hope we can get this going on a little bit later. So have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.